Fife Flyers TV, sponsored by the Bay Hotel, Fife's premier wedding venue.
Todd, what was your take on last weekend, a 4-point weekend?
Yeah, it was something we really needed. I know that we were looking to secure our playoff spot, and obviously took the 4 points. It was good to go down to Coventry and win, but we gave them a point, so it didn't wrap it up. But it was nice to sweep the season series against the Southern team, and then we came back up against this Edinburgh team on Sunday. And it's kind of been a mixed bag against them this year. I think we've split with them this year. And they always seem to be in it. So we did enough in a 4-point weekend, and now we're in the playoffs. So the next 2 weeks are really about trying to put together, just a positive performance and building for the upcoming quarterfinals.
And how big is that for the club to qualify for the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, it's... obviously, we're clearly disappointed that we didn't perform as well as we would like to have in our conference, and ultimately that's come down to our season series against Braehead, and that's really down to us. But you know what? Like, we're 2 points out of 4th spot right now. We've competed admirably against the Southern Conference this year. And we're gunning to finish in our highest spot yet. And you have to remember that the league has improved this year. All teams up to last weekend were still in it. And it's something that we haven't seen for a long, long time. And, a lot of good teams in the league this year. So, obviously, a lot of people reflect about the conference performance, which, I'll categorically state that we're, not happy with. But it was crucial that we finish in the playoffs, and now we take a run at our highest finish yet.
With the playoffs, do you have a preference about who Fife could be matched up with in the quarterfinals?
It's funny. I mean, there's so many scenarios at the top of the table and at the bottom of the table. So we can get really a couple teams at the top. Our position is still undecided, and then the teams at the bottom. So to even speculate who we get, you can't even do that. We've performed well against most teams that we have a chance of coming up against. So I think it's really the best for this team to look at ourselves and concentrate on bringing good solid performances into the game. And we should do well. As long as we bring that intensity into our quarterfinals matches, we certainly have every chance in the world of moving on.
And what are you expecting from Saturday night's game at home to Braehead Clan?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that without looking at what Nottingham's doing, that gives us an opportunity to tie Braehead, possibly move into a tie for 4th. And although we haven't performed well against them this year, we find ourselves only 2 points adrift of them in the league table. So that's how well we've performed outside that team. I think it's important as a club for us, now that the pressure of the conference is off, that we go out and put in a good, solid, gritty performance against these guys. We're capable of beating them. I think it would go a long way for these guys' confidence to go out there and beat them, specifically on home ice in front of our crowd, and draw level with them.
On the opening weekend of the season, Fife beat Braehead in overtime and the Challenge Cup. What's it been down to since then? Why have Braehead had that upper hand?
Strange, isn't it? We've only beat them once this year, and it'd be nice if we can beat them a second time here on Saturday night. But look at the contrast to the teams. Braehead, who have only won, I think, 3 games out of conference, have really ripped our conference apart. and us, who have a well above 500 record out of conference, but have struggled in the conference. So whether that's matchups, whether that's a team getting an early psychological advantage, it's hard to say what it's down to. But we find ourselves 2 points adrift from each other, and with the chance for us to pull level with them on Saturday, which is really, we'd like to do that with a win.
Just how are we looking injury-wise going into this weekend?
Yeah, I jumped the gun the other night. Sometimes I open my mouth and say things. I was doing an interview for the press on Thursday, which I thought was coming out on Thursday, and it was tweeted out immediately after, which didn't give. We'd only found out really that day, and it didn't give you guys a chance to get an announcement out. But Brian Cameron's not. He's not going to be icing for the rest of the year. He's injured, and we'll be going home shortly.
And do you feel you have, from the guys that are left in the team just now, to do the business and go into the rest of the season?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to remember, we've been short the entire season. Even when we were carrying an extra man, we were still short. There's only a handful of games that I've been able to ice an entirely full lineup. So for me, it's just status quo, and we just move forward. There's only 4 games left in the regular season and potentially 4 playoff games. So we'd like to get through that unscathed and see where we go.
The Bay Hotel, where your dream wedding becomes reality. Visit us at thebayhotel.net.